Welcome in, welcome in. Happy Wednesday, everyone. I hope everybody's having a great day today. We're going to be doing some TSI, finishing up our TSI exam from yesterday. Welcome in, welcome in. Double tap your screens. And let's get started. How's everybody doing today? How we feeling? Thank you for the likes. Thank you, thank you. All right, let's look at number 12. I believe that's where we left off on. So it says, using the same bag of marbles from problem 11. Okay. What is the probability of selecting a green and then a pink marble with replacement? Put your answers in the chat for number 12. Are you getting A, B? Yes, thank you, thank you. C or D? What y'all getting for number 12? Or do we have no clue? That's the question, right? Do we not know? All right, so if we want to select a green, okay, first we have to look at, remember we're going to problem 11, how many greens were even an option? Well, 10 out of, and then remember yesterday we added up all our colors to see how many total marbles we had. Well, we had 32. Okay. And then pink. Okay, so we're going to put times. Okay, we got pink. Pink, we have 4. What number am I writing down here? If it says, then a pink marble with replacement. What does that statement mean? Because it means a whole bunch. Do we know? Thank you for liking the live. No, we don't know? Okay. So what that means is when it says with replacement, that means I put back this green guy in there. And so it's going to be 4 out of 32. Because they could say with no replacement, like if I took out the green, I didn't necessarily have to put it back in the bag. But when they say with replacement, that means that green guy went back in the bag, I shook it up, and then I picked again. Okay, so now we're going to multiply. 10 times 4 is 40. 32 times 32. Let's go over here. 32 times 32. 2 times 2 is 4. 2 times 3 is 6. Put your placeholder. 3 times 2 is 6. And 3 times 3 is 9. And then we're going to add. 4 plus 0 is 4. 6 plus 6 is 12. Carry the 1. And we get 10, 24. Now you like, hold up. I don't see that as an answer. But remember, we have an even over even. So we have to simplify. Now, I'm going to use my answer choices to help me. So if I need to simplify this 40, I either can simplify it down to a 5 or a 7. Well, 7 don't go into 40. So I know B and D is not even an option. Now I have a 50-50 chance. Okay, so what can I divide 40 by? Put it in the chat. What can I divide 40 by if I need it to be a 5? And 8. Let's go. Romeo, Paige, James. Yes, you guys. Hey, Care Bear. Hey, AB. Yes, welcome in. So we're going to be dividing by 8. Beautiful. So this is going to give me 5 over, and then 1024 divided by 8 is going to be, well, I don't know that off the top of my head. So Let me go over here and let's divide it. 2, 4. We only have two options, right? We either got 32 or 128. Well, 8 goes into 10, 1. As soon as we see that 1, really, A is our answer. 128. Any questions on that one? Good, yes. Paige, this is like TSI. This is like AccuPlacer math. So like if you like haven't been in school for a while and you have to go back to college, then you would take a test to test in to see which one you're doing. Hello, Angela. Thank you for your comment on my video. Oh, thank you, Care Bear, for the heart puffs. Oh, you're welcome, Ellie. I need this. Beautiful. Good. Yeah, it's like an assessment that you would take for college if you've been gone for a minute. So 13, they call it the AccuPlacer. And then some, but Texas calls it the TSI. So for 13, Blanca is learning to play cards, but is not certain of all the rules of many of the games. She is told that there are 4 suits, and in each suit, 3 face cards. If she is given a standard deck of cards with no wild cards allowed, what is the probability that she will get a composite number if any of the 4 suits in the deck? Oh man. This is why I don't like this. Because if you didn't grow up playing with cards, you can't even begin to think about, okay, suits. First, we got to know there's 4 suits. It's like and then I know some people are like, who doesn't play with cards? Not everybody likes games, okay? Okay, but what y'all get for number 13? C? Okay, we got C. Ooh. 52 cards in a deck. Yes, there are 52 cards in a deck. Ooh, everybody's getting C. Okay. So there's 52 cards total in a deck. Okay, but let's see what she said here. Okay, Bianca's learning to play cards, but is not certain on all the rules of the mini games. She is told that there are 4 suits, okay, and in each suit, 3 face cards. Okay, 3 face cards. If she is given a standard deck of cards with no wild cards allowed. Okay, so how many wild cards do we have in a deck, you guys? How many wild cards? I know we got jokers. Is that the only wild cards that we consider as wild cards? 2. Okay. Hello, Dolores. No, you are right on time because I just got on. 2. Okay, so you guys are saying there's 2 with no... So wouldn't we be taking... So we should be minusing 2 from our total, right? So really we would have 50. And what is the probability that she will get a composite number in any of the 4 suits? Well, composite, let's talk about composite. Composite means just a number that's not prime. So if you have 1, 2 is prime, so that can't be 1, 2, 3. Nope, 3 is prime. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Right? So these would be the composites. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we need to do what? 6, but we have 4 of them. So should we do 6 times 4 and get 24? And then it says, what is the composite number if any of the four suits? But don't we have like when they talk about wild cards, you guys, they're not talking about the aces. I'm terrible with the deck. How do you find the prime numbers again? Prime numbers are numbers that can only be multiplied by one in itself. So that's why I started writing out the numbers that we could have on the cards, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then we have an ace, a king, a queen, and a jack. Right? And then we have joker, like two jokers, right? That's the in each suit. But 2 is a prime because only 1 times 2 gets you 2. So that's a prime. This is a prime because only 1 times 3 can get you 3. 4 is not a prime. It's a composite because we could do 2 times 2 to get us 4. So prime, right? So let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, we only have 5 now. Oh, no. This is a composite because 3 times 3. So let me see. 1. Do we not count 1 though? 1 is it a 1 a composite? Because only 1 times itself. But it's not a prime. So if I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we would technically have 5 composite choices. But then we have 4 of them. So should we do 5 times 20? 5 times 4. And then that would give us 20 options for the composite. And then if we reduce, yeah, I think that's it, y'all. And if we reduce here, we divide by 4. Let's see what that gets us. 20 divided by 4 is 5. And then 52 divided by 4, let's see what that gives us. Well, we get 1. Nah, that's not going to work. 1, 2, and we have a 0, we have 10, so that wouldn't work. Something's got to be, something's got to be different about this because it says with no wild cards allowed. So this is not a standard 52 deck. So how many cards do we actually have out of? Does anybody know? Divide by 4? Why are we dividing by 4, not 5? Oh, divide by... Yeah, oh, man, you guys, bear with me. Ooh, I'm taking myself out. I'm like writing it and then, but that's math, right? Sometimes I'll be doing that stupid stuff. Okay, so 4 goes into 5, 1, and then that's 4. Thank you, because I'm like, what? I didn't divide by 5. 12. And then 4 goes into 12, 13. Yes. And B is the correct answer. This too early for this. All right, Care Bear? Dolores? Oh no, it's too early. I just got on. Any questions on that, you guys? Any questions? This is real math? I know, Paige. Yes, it is. It's the worst type of math. It's that probability math. How did I get over here, Lord? The Lord knew what you needed today, okay? Where did you get the 5? Angela, we got the, okay, so here, I got the 5 from counting up how many composite numbers I have. 1 is not composite. 4 is composite, 6 is composite, 8 is composite, and 10 and 9. So I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I have 5 composite numbers out of all my 4 suits. And so since I have four of them, I had to do 5 times 4, and that's going to give me a number of 20 composite numbers out of the whole entire deck. And then you just divide by 4. This was, I guess this was, that didn't matter. That didn't matter. And then and then the common denominator was 4, or the greatest common factor, I should say. Okay. All right, let's go to the next. Okay. Asher is 4 1/3 feet tall. He wants to ride the roller coaster, but sees that he must be at least 5 feet tall. Ooh. How many more inches does he need to grow in order to ride the roller coaster ride? All right, what y'all getting? What we doing for number 14? 8. Okay, quad A. B. Oh, are we going back and forth? 8. Oh, B. Okay, now that's the same thing. B and 8. Okay. Thank you for the double taps, you guys. I see we're at 3K. B. Can everybody take a second to double tap your screen? Can we get to 5K likes? B. Johnny, Zoe. Okay, all y'all getting B. Okay, I saw 1 C come in. Okay. All right, so let's talk about it. So he has to at least get to 5 feet. He's at 4 1/3. So what operation are we going to do with these two numbers to find our answer? Put it in the chat. Are we adding, subtracting, dividing, multiplying? What are we actually doing? Okay, KRP said B. Thank you, you guys. We made it to 5K. Thank you, everyone, for the double taps. Dividing, subtracting. Yes. Okay, so if we do 5 minus 4 1/3. Now remember, this is in feet, right? So let's minus this. Okay. Well, the problem is, right? We can't take nothing away from 1/3. So how I learned how to do this is you borrow the 1 from here. I'm going to make this a 4. But that 1 that I borrowed, I want to make it into a fraction. Does anybody know what fraction I'm going to write here to make it easy? What fraction can I write here when I want to subtract from a 1/3? 3/3. Yes. Beautiful, you guys. Yes, we're going to make it 3/3. See, because 3 divided by 3 is technically 1. But we write it like this because whenever we subtract fractions, we have to have the same denominator. That's the whole reason why we write it like this. So now we can do 3 minus 1, which is 2, over your denominator stays the same, 3. Okay, well, we got 2/3 feet. We need inches. They gave us all inches here. So now we do have to know a little conversion. How many inches are in a foot? Do we know that? How many inches are in a foot? 12 inches. Yes, let's go. We have 12 inches is equal to 1 foot. Well, let's do a conversion. So we have 2/3 feet. Okay, I want my feet to cancel, so I'm going to put 1 foot down here times 12 inches. Feet cancel, and then I'm going to multiply. I'm just going to multiply this time, even though I like to cross simplify, but some people might get confused. So I'm just going to go 2 times 12 is 24. 3 times 1 is 3. Well, 24 divided by 3. Y'all see it? 8 inches. Yes, 888. Let's go. I got it right. Yes. Can you explain the conversion? Yes, I can. So, there's 12 inches equal to 1 foot. Okay. We know that we're starting with 2/3 of a foot. So when we want to cancel out feet, whatever you start with has to go in the denominator in order for it to cancel out. So I'm starting with feet, so that means that my 1 foot had to go on the bottom in order for the feet to cancel. And then that forced my inches to go up here. So whenever you're trying to go from a different unit to a unit, whatever you start with, that has to go in the denominator, always. Okay? I know it looks so ugly because it's a fraction, but that's how the setup goes. Okay. All right, let's go to 15. And thank you those who are answering the questions and helping me. It does take a village, and we have a pretty good one. Okay, we have an awesome one, a magnificent one. And I appreciate you guys. You know, I really do appreciate all you guys putting your comments in, double tapping, showing up with me every day. I heart you guys. Thank you. So 15. X plus 3 is a factor to which of the following? Is it a factor of this, or both? All right. We're going to take out our factoring skills. So let's factor the first one. What's my signs for this one? What is my signs for that one? Minus, minus, minus. Oh, this is trickery. Remember, this is a difference of squares. It's a difference of squares because you have a perfect square here, which is x times x, and you have a perfect square here, which is 3 times 3. And whenever you have two perfect squares and you have that subtraction, that's called a difference of squares. So if we have a difference of squares, our signs has to be plus and minus, always, for a difference of squares. Okay? So now that we know that, we ask ourselves, what times what gets us x? X times x. And what times itself gets us 9? 3 times 3. Well, looky. We got x plus 3 as a factor. So we know anything that doesn't have an I is gone. So this is gone. And this is gone, right? So now we have a 50-50 chance. Let's go and factor this one. Okay. What's that rule I said? When the B is the only negative, what does our sign have to be? Put it in the chat. Thank you, Dave, for sharing the live. T said negative. Negative. Nick said negative. Ooh, plus, minus. Minus, minus. Yes. Minus, minus. It got to be both negatives. When the B is the only negative, okay? When that middle term in a trinomial is the only negative, they both must be negative, okay? That's a rule. Okay, so what times what gives us x squared? X times x. What times what gets us 9, but adds to 6? 3 times 3. See, if I do -3 plus -3, I get that -6. And if I do -3 times -3, I get a positive 9. So what's my answer? B or C? C, B, B. Yes, it's only can be B. See, because it's looking for the x plus 3. Remember, this had no x plus 3. So it could only be, we only saw one x plus 3 in I. Does that make sense? Oh, snap, right. Yeah. No, don't cry. Or if you're going to cry, keep on going. Cry to keep going. Don't cry to give up. As Eric Thomas would say, right? All right, so 16. The area of a rectangle is 100 centimeters squared. If the length is 4 times the width, what is the measure of the length? Okay. What should I always start with? If I'm a visual type of learner, what should I be doing right now? Put it in the chat. Quade said A. Okay. Drawing. Thank you, user. Yes, I should be drawing. Okay, so rectangle. Okay, I gotta know what that looks like first. Okay, it looks something like this. Ooh. And then it says if the length is 4 times the width. Okay, length means equal 4 times W. Okay, so if this is the length, what does this side have to be? What does this side have to be? Put it in the chat. W. Yes. Hey, Cookie. W. It has to be the width. Okay, so now that we know that, and we know that the area, okay, so we're talking about area. Well, what formula are we using for this problem? Area is inside. Good. Length times width all day. Let's go. Yes. So we're going to use area equals length times the width. Okay. So what does that mean? Well, remember, they gave us our area, right? So we could plug that in for there. They also gave us our length. But you like, no, they didn't. Yes, they did. This was the length. And then W was W, right? So we're going to plug in 100 equals 4W. Remember, whenever 2 letters touch, we're timesing them. So 4WW, well, that's going to be 4W squared. Okay. Okay, good. So what do I do next? What do I got to do next? Thank you, Bessie, for sharing the live. Thank you, Queen, for the follow. Divide by 4. Why 2 W's? Because in our formula, we have length times width. Well, we have to multiply these two things. See, they told us the length was 4W. But remember, the formula already had a W. So that's why we have to multiply it and get W squared. Great question. Now we want this W squared. We got to solve this. So we have to divide by 4. This cancels. And we're left with, what's 100? What's 100 divided by 4? I always go to money. 25 equals W squared. All right. Do we see our answer at this point? Or do some of us need more? B, square root, Sophie, 5. Yes, you guys see it. Good. And this is what I mean about saving time for the next problem, right? If we are using our answer choices, not always do we have to do every step of the problem. This number 5 is the only answer when we do 5 times 5 to get us 25. Because remember, we're looking for a number that we can square to get us 25. Well, 5 is the only one. If we do 10 times 10, that's 100. 20 times 20 is 400. These are like, but I will show you for the people that do not see it. So people were saying to get rid of a square, we're going to square root. Okay. So W equals, remember a square root cancels a square. So what times itself gets you 25? 5. Oh, but hold on. That's not what it's asking. I always do this. I always do this. I always do it. I always do it. B is not our answer, y'all. B is not the answer. Because you want to make sure you're answering what the question is asking you. What is the measure of the length? Look at that sneaky problem. And this is why a lot of people get it wrong. Because they know what they was looking for, but then after doing all this work, they like, whew, thank goodness I see a 5. The trickery. Yes, 4 times 5. Beautiful. Yes, you guys. So we have to plug in here. So remember, we're finding the length. So we're going to do 4 times 5. Remember, our width was 5. And so actually, A is our answer. Tricky, tricky. Okay, any questions on that? And I'm talking about you? Talking about myself too. I used to do that all the time. I'd be like, no, I know how to do that though. Why didn't I do it? How did you get the 5? Okay, so we got the 5. We got the 5 by square rooting. So whenever you square root a number, you're thinking about what times itself. You're looking for pairs. So the square root of 25 is 5 times 5. And when you have a pair, it comes out as 1 5. How did you get the 25? Oh, we got the 25 by doing 100 divided by 4. So 100 divided by 4 is 25. Great question. Yep. Thank you, Pretty Privilege. Yes. Okay, let's go to number 17. Is this integrated math? No, this is for like an acuplacer for college. That's what this is for. It's like a test you would take if you've been out of school for a minute and you decide, oh, I want to go get this degree. I need it for this job or something. That's what they would make you take. A gallon of paint covers 620 square feet. How many gallons of paint will one need to purchase to paint 2,850 square feet? Okay. How we setting this up, y'all? Pedro said D. Okay. Is this good for the SAT? Yes, some of the problems. I made it to college math now, and I'm doing okay, I guess. Laughing out loud. I love it. Multiply, division, D. Do we round? Okay, so what this is looking like in my eyes is a proportion problem. So a gallon of paint covers this. Okay, so 1 gallon covers 620 square feet. Okay. How many gallons? Well, I don't know. I put an X on top, and then I put the 2,850, and then I cross multiply. So I'm going to get 620x equals to 1 times 2,850. Not me doing the sound effects, you guys. Oh, I'll be be cracking my own self up when, especially, I can't even listen to these back, you guys. I just have to post them because if I start listening to, I'll be like, oh, I want to edit this out. I want to edit this out. But I said, it's just me. Y'all got to just either love me or hate me, okay? That's just me. So, yeah, so we're going to do this. Equals, remember, I'm going to cross out these zeros always. If I can cross out a zero, I'm going to cross it out. And then we're going to do 62 into 285. Okay, but I'm not going to be guessing far off because I either got a 4 or I got a 5, right? So if I'm going to do 62 times 5, 5 times 2 is 10, carry the 1. And then 5 times 6 is 30. 30 plus 1 is 31. And that's too much. So I know it got to be a 4. So we know we're going 4. So now we got a 50-50 chance, right? Let me see what 62 times 4 is. That's going to give me 8. That's going to give me 24. So 2, 4, 8. I'm going to subtract. And since it's not coming out evenly, like, see, this doesn't subtract to a 0. I know it has to be D. I'm going to have some left over. Yes, D. Yep. Oh, thank you, Avery. Oh, trust me, I be stumbling sometimes, okay? I am not perfect in no way. Why not A? Because why not A? Because when we multiplied 5 times 62, see how we got 310 over here? Well, that's bigger than the 285. It can't fit. So 5 is way too big. 5 is a waste of money. If you buy 5 gallons, you only need 4.5 gallons. This would cost you even more money. So, if you're running a business, right, you want to get as precise as you can be to save as much money as possible. Well, if you're buying one gallon over every time you're painting somebody's house, right? It depends on how you charge them, right? But if you're wasting somebody's money, I don't want this gallon of paint. I want it the precise exact amount, so that's why the 5.5 doesn't work. When you multiply this, 5.5 times this, it's going to be way bigger than that. Okay. All right. Let's go to it says you'll be a tenth short. It helps the process. I love it. Can you buy a half a gallon of paint? Oh, that is the question. Oh, I didn't think about that. Oh, can we buy a half a gallon of paint? This is where I need the construction people to come in. Can we buy a half a gallon of paint, y'all? You can? Yes. They saying no. At Lowe's. Okay. So then it says how much gallons will you need? Will one need to purchase? How many gallons? Okay, so let's talk about that, right? Because that's important. Right? If you can't, if they don't sell them in half a gallons, because I didn't think about that, then we would have to go up. Then B would actually be our answer. Because we would need to buy, if we had to buy in only gallons, we can't buy half of a gallon, then 5 was actually our answer. Oh, I didn't think about that. Yeah, we would have to buy 5 gallons if you can't buy half of a gallon. And I think because they said how many gallons, And yeah, I think this has to be the answer. We would have to go over by 0.5. So we would have a half of a gallon left of paint left over for this house if we had to buy all in whole gallons. Yeah, thank you for that. That's I didn't think about that. Yep. No, it's D. Nah, I don't think so. Yeah, it's a little tricky. If you can buy half of a gallon, then yes. But if you can't buy it, I don't really paint houses, so I don't know. But if you have to buy all gallons, then it would be B. You have to go over. Oh, thank you. Always round up. Yeah, always round up. Free said always round up. Okay, so we gonna round up. All right, good. I'm glad we got some construction, or it's just some people that know about that. All right, let's go to 18. Solve the following. Okay. How we solving this? What we got to do first to get rid of this guy? A, -4. Hey, Math Discovery. Yes, it would be B, because you'll be short. D. Square it? Yes, we're going to square it. Yeah, you guys, the answer is B. It has to be B. Because I don't think you could buy half of it. Always round up. It's better to have, well, this would be, let me see. Let's just keep on going. Let me see here. If it's going to be more than 0.5, real quick. So 8 minus 4 is 4. Oh, no. I have to borrow. 15 minus 8. Is that 7? Yep. So 7, and then this would be 7 minus 4, which will be 3. Right? 62 can't fit in there. So we have to add a 0. And then 370. Well, if I add another 62 here, right? 2, 7, 3. Oh, so only 5. Yeah, that's 5. This will be 310 here minus. And then we get 6, 0. Have another, add another 0. And it will be some number big over here. It will be like another decimal, you guys, if we actually divided it out. But to be on the safe side, round up. For sure, you'll have it with the whole 5 gallons. You might be a little bit short if you only get the 4.5, because then you have this like ninth of a 100 piece on the wall left. I don't know. Go with 5, okay? Go with 5. All right. I'm done with that. Be gone. And let's square this. Let's square this bad boy, okay? So we're going to square both sides because that undoes the square root. And so this cancels this. And then we would have x plus 4 equals. What am I getting when I have a -3 squared? Put your answer in the chat. What do I get here? 9. Good. Okay. Oh, do we get a -9? Since I squared it, I have to put this whole thing in parentheses. And then a -3 times a -3 gets me a +9. All right. How do I solve for x? What do I got to do next? It's 5. Good. Okay. Minus the 4. Good. We're going to minus the 4. Perfect. Minus the 4. X equals 5. How many of you guys are putting A as your answer? Put it in the chat. How many of you guys are putting A as your answer? I see those A's coming in. -5, not me. So I said, not me. So, unfortunately, when you have radicals, you have to always check them. You must always check them, you guys. Remember, our original problem was the square root of x plus 4 equals to a -3. Well, we technically didn't even have to do this if you know the rule. See, a square root can never be equal to a negative number. But most people forget that rule. So D is actually our answer because we can never have a square root equal to a negative. But let me show you why for those who don't know that rule. Well, when we plug in 5 here, what is 5 plus 4? 9. What's the square root of 9? 3. 3 does not equal -3. Yes, Hugo. Okay, I see now. Oh, yeah. Yeah, but if you knew that rule that the square roots can never equal a negative, then you would have saw that right away. Wouldn't even have to do anything. Good. Good. All right. Let's keep it pushing. Okay. We got some range up in here. Okay, good. You knew it without checking it? Lovely. Good. You remember that rule. All right, 19. Find the range for y equals blah, 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 when the domain is blah, 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 blah. Okay. We got some strange words up in here. And if you don't know what it is, you can't even begin to even start this problem. What does range mean? Put it in the chat. What does range mean? Or better yet, what letter stands for range? Thank you for my double tappers. I see we're at 11.2K. Thank you. Can we make it to 15K, you guys? I don't have a clue. Why? Hey, Just Clean. Why? Yes. Range is your Y values. It's the Y values of your function. Domain. Do we know what domain means? X is X. Yes. See how they do? See, this is why math, when I say, is a total different language, right? That's why when we look at it, sometimes people hate math because it's like, I don't even get what they're asking, right? So now that we know that domain means X's, well, what they're saying is if we want to find the Y values and I'm telling you what the X values is, plug in and find it. So we're going to do Y equals 0.5 parenthesis. Whenever we have a number attached to a letter called a variable, we have to put parentheses, okay? Now, we're going to do -3 first. So -3 squared minus 3 times a -3 minus 1. We're plugging in that -3 wherever there was an X, because that's what the domain is. A domain is an X value. Any questions on that part? Any questions? Oh, no, Heather. That's what I'm asking. Ask your questions. So where did I lose you at? All we doing is plugging in this -3 for X into this equation. Why you didn't use the 1 or 2? Oh, we're going to. We have to plug in the 1 for the X and the 2. But I'm just trying to see if everybody understands, like, just the first, like, that's what we're going to do. But you got to first know that you're plugging in, okay? So 1 now is our X. They're asking us what's the Y value when we plug in 1. So let's go over here. Let me write it down here. Y equals 0.5 times 1 to the second power minus 3 times 1 minus 1. And then we're going to plug in that 2. Y equals 0.5 times 2 to the second minus 3 times 2 minus 1. And this is where I most definitely need a calculator. Ooh. Okay, so let me get a calculator. Y'all, I gotta go after this one. I gotta pick up my babies. Oh. Okay, so why am I going to camera? I need calculator. Okay, so calculator, clear. Okay, so we're going to do, let me just clear it up a little bit. This is going to be 9 times 0.5 plus 9 minus 1. So 0.5 times 9 plus 9 minus 1. And we get, why are we getting a positive 12? Oh, but that's what we get. 12.5. Y equals 12.5. Okay, so we have 12.5. These are out. This is my 50-50 chance. Now let's do this one. So we have 0.5. So this is going to be 0.5 minus 3 minus 1. So 0.5 minus 3 minus 1. Ooh, minus 1. And we get a negative. So for this one, we get Y equals a negative 3.5. Well, oh, they both have it. Man, they both have the 12.5 and they both have the negative 3.5. So it's up to this one. So Y is going to be 0.5 times 4 minus 6 minus 1. So 0.5 times 4, that's 2. Okay, minus 6 minus 1. And Y equals negative 5. And so B is our answer. Okay, B is the answer. It's B. Yep, it is B. And you guys, I do have to run. I have to go pick up my babies from school. I know it's like, man, do we have time to do this last one? But I don't. I just looked at the time. But I do have to run off. Thank you so much. Have a blessed, wonderful day. And I most definitely, hopefully we'll see you guys earlier tomorrow at 1. All right. Bye, you guys.